Jackal, also known as Top Gunner, is a game developed and published by Konami and was originally released in the arcade in 1986. It was ported to home computers and even consoles back in the day with a Commodore 64, ZX Spectrum, Amstrad CPC, NES, and MS-DOS release. In this review, I'm going to cover the arcade and the NES port. Now, I know this game mostly on the NES. I never played the arcade version before until doing this review, and as you can see, the game is in a top-down view where you move an armed jeep in order to rescue prisoners of war. There is a story behind this game. The Jackal unit is an elite group of 4 soldiers that have went through harsh training to survive in any environment. There is Colonel Decker. Wait, from A-Team? That guy is a dickhead. Lieutenant Bob. Oh, blockety block. Different Bob, I hope. Sergeant Quint and Corporal Gray. The mission is to drive armed jeeps in a hostile territory in order to rescue and extract prisoners of war. Now, you can play up to 2 players on this game at the same time, and the second player can join in at any time during gameplay. The jeep has a machine gun turret, a grenade launcher, and a fucking train's coming through, so if you hear that fucker, just ignore it. Fucking loud ass bitch. Fucking cunt. Now, the grenade launcher can turn into a missile launcher and can be upgraded 3 times. The machine gun has weak firepower but fires at a faster rate. The grenade or missile launcher can destroy most enemy vehicles in one shot and can destroy gates and buildings. The game starts with a pair of transport helicopters dropping the jeep into the coast of the enemy territory, followed by a plane dropping the driver and gunner. The prisoners of war will upgrade the jeep grenade launcher by 1 level. You can only carry up to 8 prisoners, and once it's filled, you must drive to the nearest heliport to drop them off. If you successfully extract 8 prisoners in a row, the Jeep missile launcher will upgrade as well. You might be wondering, how many levels does this game have? Well, it's one big, long, continuous level, and you will go through a variety of different areas, such as an ancient ruin, a lake, a hill, mountains, before making your way to the headquarters of the dickheads holding prisoners hostages and being a fucking problem. You can run over foot soldiers with the Jeep, but you will be destroyed if it gets shot by a projectile or collides with an enemy vehicle. Luckily, a replacement Jeep shows up. If the previous Jeep has prisoners of war, the survivors will spread themselves out from the wreckage waiting to be picked up again. The game ends when the player beats the mission or runs out of replacement Jeeps. Basically, it's game over at that point. The graphics for Jackal or Top Gunner for arcade are pretty damn nice. The game is in a top-down view, but you can tell what is land, water, people, vehicles, and so on. There are buildings and other shit you can hit that is part of the environment. The game is quite colorful, great animations, action-packed, very well done. The music, I think it's just as good as the graphics. Nothing real mind-blowing, but it does fit that military action theme, especially when you are going around blowing shit up and so on. The sound effects are a huge part of this game, ranging from gunfire, explosions, collecting power-ups. Definitely a lot of explosions going on. I find that to be pretty fucking badass. The controls, I mean, they are easy to understand. I just think at times they are not the greatest. Moving around seems a little slow here and there. Shooting the gun in one direction is kind of a pain in the ass. Same thing with the grenades and missiles. You can shoot all over, but you have to be facing that direction. I think they could be way better than this. Jackal for arcade is a tough game, but it is fun as hell. It's action-packed, kicking ass, killing enemies, saving hostages, and all that shit. It is not some in-depth game. It's a pick-up-and-play type, which is pretty normal for arcade games. The graphics are good, very well designed. The top-down view is great. The music is enjoyable. The sound effects are really good. The biggest issues to me would be the controls. I think they could be better here. Now let's check out a home console port, and that is on the NES, once again developed and published by Konami, and this port was released in 1988. Now for the most part, it is the same gameplay style, but there are differences. For instance, instead of being on one big long level, the game is split up into 6 checkpoints named Alpha, Baker, Charlie, Delta, Tango, Zulu. And there's a boss at the end of these checkpoints. The grenade/missile launcher can only be upgraded 3 times to reach its maximum power, although if you die, you will go back to the initial grenade launcher rather than being downgraded. The Jeep can carry as many POWs as there are in a stage rather than being limited to 8. If I recall, there is a few more things here and there, but honestly, I like the game being split into levels or checkpoints rather than being one long game. The graphics for Jackal on the NES, I think they look great. Obviously a downgrade from the arcade version, but for being on an 8-bit console, there is some limitations. I have no issue with the way the game looks. It's colorful, great looking sprites. Never really ran into any issues other than some flickering here and there. Damn good looking game, pure and simple. The music, honestly, I really like it a lot. Very well composed, kick-ass, 8-bit, fits very well with the game. Then again, this is a Konami developed game. Back in the 8 and 16-bit era, they fucking killed it with graphics, music, sound effects, and so on. on. Speaking of the sound effects, it's pretty damn good, from shooting, explosions, and so on. The controls this time are much, much better than the arcade version. I feel they handle better from the moving around, shooting, either your gun or the grenade or missile launcher, whatever the fuck you have. I feel that maneuvering around is way better because there is much more space, and I think this has to do with the change going from vertical with the arcade version, and now it's in a horizontal view. Very well done with the controls, and you might be wondering if this port's difficult. I mean, the arcade version, I was getting my ass kicked. It has its moments when there's a lot of enemies on screen, bullets flying everywhere, but it didn't kick my ass as much as the arcade version. I'm not going to fully blame the controls of the arcade version on how I played, even though I don't really care for them on the arcade, but this port is much easier. The bosses in certain sections just pack a little bit of a punch on the difficulty, and I like that a lot. Jackal on the NES, I think, in some aspects is better than the arcade version. This is a damn good port, but then again, Konami fucking killed it with the arcade games being ported to home consoles. I mean, look at Contra. Don't get me wrong, arcade version's really fucking fun, damn good game, it's a classic, but the NES port is 100 times better. The gameplay of Jackal is fun as fuck, the graphics are great. Sure, there is some flickering, but that comes with the territory of the NES. It doesn't ruin the game for me or anything like that. The music fucking rules, as do the sound effects, and the controls, as I've stated, fucking awesome. Handles way better and are responsive. Overall, just a badass port. I had a lot of fun playing this. If you like kick-ass top-down games, definitely check out Jackal. It is mindless, shoot the fuck out of enemies, rescue POW hostages, blow shit up type of fun. If you want to play it for yourself, the arcade version can be played on MAME. Of course, you can emulate the NES port too. The game was released on the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch back in 2024. If I recall, those were part of the Arcade Archive series. So you can get the game digitally and buy it, whatever the fuck, if you're not into emulation and you're a little fucking pussy. Oh, I gotta have the real thing even though it's digital, so it's not really the real thing, it's actually being ran on an emulator. Cocksucker. If you want an arcade cabinet, I didn't see any online, at least with eBay. I'm sure you can find some out there if you really went out and searched. As for the NES port, the game is 14% rare and you can find it physically for $57.99 for a complete in box, $14.99, $12.71 for a card only, $13.99 for another card only, another complete in box for $64.99, $400 for a factory sealed go fuck yourself. Just play the fucking game, quit being a fucking bitch. A lot of the prices are under $20, mainly around the $10 to $20 range, which isn't too bad in this day and age, but don't pay anything over $25. No reason to pay $50, $60, or $400. I think I did see a complete in box for $15.50 on there as well, but delivery was over $12, and that is kind of pushing it, but still not too bad. And anybody that's paying for these bullshit prices, just put it on their fucking shelf, let it collect dust, they probably jerk off on it and wipe it off, you know, because it's sealed and all that fucking shit. Fucking weirdos. Just play the fucking game, you retards. When it comes to sequels, there isn't any official. There might be a ROM hack out there. I never really looked, but I'm sure there's something. It's a bit of a damn shame that this game didn't have any sequels, but at the same time, there are similar games out there like Akari Warriors and so on. Well, that is it for this review of Jackal for Arcade and the NES. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. You motherfuckers kick ass.